Hello, this is a follow-up to my previous video and an important clarification and nuance that I don't think that I communicated or demonstrated thoroughly in that last video, but I think that it could add value to that last video and bring some points home that I was trying to make. So in that last video, I mentioned things such as the beauty of childhood, the beauty of old age, um, collective pain and trauma of human beings, collectively speaking and also personally speaking, and then also the what I think is some of the beauty within adult entertainment. And where I wanted to bring, and I also mentioned the thinker Osho, and I wanted to bring all that back together in this point and where what I was trying to communicate with that. And that speaker Osho, he mentions that in if you observe a child is beautiful both when it's happy and when it's upset. And the reason it's beautiful when it's upset is because its anger, its emotions are total and they're not calculated. So like when an adult gets mad, they're gonna stew and they're gonna form calculations. So they're gonna reflect on their anger, and they're also going to make plans and adjustments based on that anger. So it's kind of like a very corrupt anger. But when a child gets anger, it's pure anger. It's nothing but anger. And there's something about the purity of that is beautiful in a sense. But I want to take that a step further and say that there's something about that is healing, and can be replicated for an adult in a certain sense. And what I mean by that is if you let's say you have a child that throws a tantrum, a real life tantrum, and then that anger that the child has, it never subsides. What it does is that it's so intense and it goes so high that it actually sublimates into something entirely different. So what I mean is that the child is so angry that they actually for a moment forget about themselves. And in forgetting about themselves, they get past whatever was making them angry and they come into something that is completely different. So they can be like maybe crying in a corner and then they're fascinated with something on the floor. And it's because that anger is so total that they move beyond it. So it's actually kind of really healthy. And why I think they don't have the baggage that we do as adults, because they're so thorough and they're so authentic that they move through things as a point by sublimating through them by reaching the zenith of that thought or emotion, which transmutes and transpires into something completely different. So what I meant to say with when I was talking about collective trauma and adult film is that when people are doing things like what we see on adult films, they almost have that it's that total where they're doing something in spite of themselves, and they're giving themselves to that experience totally and without any reservations. And I think that we as human beings, both collectively and personally, if we can find opportunities to experience things that we experience totally and with abandon, without reservation, and without deliberation or hesitation, but to really just fully experience things, and not necessarily positive things, but just to fully experience things. I think that is where some of our healing will come from as human beings and personally, and to sublimate a lot of these traumas that we have in pain into something different and beautiful. And I know those are very bold, heavy statements that are hard to live up to and almost idealistic. But I think that for artists that are really seeking to create unique and moving pieces that can speak to the human condition and transcend the human condition, I think there's something to be learned in observing the way that that children move through emotions, the way that adult film artists uh, uh, interface without self-regard, and then the way that having full and total experiences help us to move past things. And I think that whatever our purpose is in this life, a lot of us, I think no one has a completely positive or negative life, but the real essence, value, and redemption in life is to have a full life and to fully experience life and have full experiences. So that's all I'm saying, and I hope these outlandish statements can be appreciated. Just for where I'm coming from is just to think differently about things and move towards authenticity and self-expression, whatever that means to a person. Again, I hope this finds someone well, and keep up the work.